Değerli katılımcılar, şimdi Tesis Yönetiminde Yeni Teknolojiler başlıklı konuşmasını sunmak üzere BGFM Avrupa Tesis Yönetim Ağı Başkanı ve Avrupa Tesis Yönetim Ağı Başkanı Sayın Goran Milanov'un kürsüye teşriflerini arz ederim.
I'm here again. Actually, David covered most of the things that I want to talk. So I think that I have to change a little bit my presentation now. The trends and the technologies in the facilities management, it's not what it was before. I mean, before we were traditionally an engineering discipline, and we were quite okay with our screwdrivers and our engineering tools. But now the tools of FM is becoming something else. It's becoming more like a software, more like a soft skills, more like interaction skills. So yeah, we are coming from the technological and engineering parts. We still feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's why we're always looking to our boiler room and to go there to hide a little bit instead of meeting the real customer. But all those technologies that are right now are coming, and it's David is quite right that the speed of adaptation of the technologies is a critical factor of surviving of the FM companies, and not only surviving of the FM companies, but also ability of the FM companies to serve the core business. If the core business is much far ahead with the technologies that they're using in the core business, and the FM company is not that far with this technological adaptation, there is a gap between the services that we are providing and the services that is demanding from the end user and from the demand side. I will also talk about trends, but I will not talk just about trends because the trends that we are looking for will determine the level of technology and the way of usage of technology that we need in our operations. Because if I'm an FM company and if I'm adopted a technology that I can assure to my customers that I can change the bulb, let's say, within 5 minutes. And if I go to a normal office space and this I put it as my advantage and I can say, you know, I can change the bulb with 5 minutes, and the customer will say, why should I pay for it? I mean, okay, but this is not a critical process for me. I don't need that fast reaction, so why should I spend more money for something that I don't need? So the technology in general, I would divide it on two main parts. Technology for FM companies, that it's critical for the operation of FM company by itself. All the tools that we need in order to control and monitor our employees, to control and to monitor our processes, and the other technology, which is actually in favor and supporting the core business of our customers. I think that all of this whole, we already agree that a ticketing system, it's not enough anymore. I mean, ticketing system is something that should be in place, but this ticketing system should be incorporated in the rest of the infrastructure, of the technological environment, in order we to be able to deliver the services to the end customers that they should be. So, trends. I mean, I will repeat a little bit again the David presentations, but on the first place, the customers, our customers, they are more and more looking not just for silos services like cleaning, like catering, like maintenance, but they are really looking for one person or one entity or one company that can provide everything. And not only provide everything, but to take the liability that all the services that are provided to the end customer is in the right scope, in the right time, with the right quality, and securing the end price of the services that should be delivered to this end customer. So integrated FM services, again, it's not just combining a couple of services in one bench or in one bag and go to the end customer and says, okay, this is your services. But again, these services should work together in collaboration and should be actually giving this add-on value to the end customer. We were talking very often now about, am I an asset manager, am I a facility manager, am I a corporate real estate manager? But more and more, at the end customer has come, I need a company and professional, whatever you call yourself, who can take over all this supply chain and can deliver to me these integrated services. And you call yourself whatever you want. Even we have a couple of cases, I mean, like a couple of customers that are really, they came to us and they say, okay, this is the building. The building is with that and that technical parameters, that and that space, that and that allocation of different offices and common areas and stuff like that. Are you able to manage it? Because I'm a real estate developer and I have another building to build. So I want to give this building to you. My requirements, I have only 3 requirements. Happy customers, that means stable cash flow from the rent, preserving the value of the asset. So that means that my building is working okay, and my cash flow is fine. So the rest of the things, it's up on you. I mean, you're a facilities manager, so you know how to do it. And then we need to understand about integrated facilities management services, and then we need to adapt the requirements that we have from our customers. What kind of technologies do we need? If in the way of integrated facilities managers, facility management services, we go to our end customer and says, hey guys, you see, I have a ticketing system. So you can go in your browser and you can type www.internalwebsites.com, and then you have a very nice screen with 2 drop-down menus, I mean, type of a problem and emergency of the problem. Everybody will say, this is not the technology that I need. Again, referring to the David presentation, user experience and wellness. Yeah, wellness is ours. I mean, before, it was in HR departments, yeah, because everything about wellness was about bonus schemes, kind of benefits like company car or stuff like that. But the employees now, they are really looking more for wellness. They are not anymore that focused on the size of the yearly bonus that they will get, but they are more focused on how they will work, what kind of food they will get, nutrition, open spaces, gym, spa. So all these services are coming to us, and I'm pretty sure that this type of services by its nature, they are not very different than the other services that we are providing so far. We just have to go there and to take these services, to embrace them and to say, okay, we are also having the technology that can also implement and control and monitor these services with all the booking, the same way until now as we have solutions for booking the meeting room within our offices. The easiest way is to implement that kind of a solution when we're talking about wellness or recreation areas in the offices that we have. The next thing that we are more in not just as a demand supplier. I mean, still there are many cases and still there are many companies that are acting in that way. Like I'm opening a tender for cleaning, let's say. I get 3 offers and I'm choosing the offer with the lowest price, and that's it. It's still there are dead cases, but this is dying. I mean, the demand side, our customers are really looking for collaboration, because we are the guys that we know how the infrastructure and how the companies and how the people feel in the premises that they are actually working at. So that kind of a collaboration links and collaboration relationships are really more and more looking from the demand side and from the customer side, because we can give the right feedback back to the companies. What is wrong? What is right? So again, we need our technology to be easily used in order to support this cooperation and this partnership with the end customers that we have. Workplaces. Again, the way before everybody knows, I mean, 9 o'clock I'm in my office, 6 o'clock I'm gone, and that's it. Today, the workplaces, it's converting more and more in a place where people meet, where people discuss. They are not associated with the way how I'm sitting behind the desk and I'm working 8 hours and then I'm going home. So this new way of working, again, requires a new technology, because this new technology, I mean, yes, what's happened in our buildings. I mean, 8 o'clock in the morning and all the lights are on, the AC system is on, and 9 o'clock from my company, which is, I don't know, 1,000 people, just 200 comes. Because the rest of 200 are in, I don't know, in a business trip, the other works from home, 100 of them are sick, let's say. So I need the technology in order to control my workplaces and in order to assure and to provide the right climate control, the right environment and control, and again, all the people that are there to be happy and to do their job in the way how the talent that we are looking now, they should do. And then comes all the background and all the foundation of what we need. During the last years, we as a facilities managers are generating more and more data. All the systems that we have until now, they're generating data, and this data is saved somewhere. Yeah, we call it big data, and usually I make this joke. Do you know in Google how they call big data? They call it just data. It's the size of the data, it's not anymore valid. So we need to know how to read this data. We need to know how to analyze this data in order this data to serve our purposes and again to adapt the services that we are providing to all our customers. But still, this data, it's the most famous, let's say, technologies like building information modeling, smart building, big data, and so on and so on. When we talk about new buildings, it's really a must when you have a good project, when you have a good size project, to implement BIM. And until now, again, the facilities management professionals were a little bit shy of getting more aggressive in the BIM environment. So BIM was more applicable for design and construction. But more and more, as this presentation of Susanna this morning, more and more facilities managers are participating in this process, because usually BIM model goes to the design, build, manage process, and then it's our power to see, to predict, to model, and to avoid mistakes in a phase of the design and construction in order the buildings to operate in a way how we do expect. So new buildings, okay, but what we are doing with old buildings? How the old buildings, or the buildings that we already built, we are getting them and putting them on a technological level that we need, and the technological level that should be in order to serve the purposes of the people that are working or living in these buildings. So then comes the modern term that we are saying, BIM for FM, because still the major stock of the buildings that we have, it's already built. And this is a challenge, how we can convert these buildings and how can the buildings, like hardware, can adopt the technologies that we need in order to do to provide the services that we need to provide, again, to serve the core business as the normal way. There are different studies, there are different researchers in this area, there are different white papers, and again, here we have to go in the old buildings and to see what's the purpose of this building, what's the level of the technology that needs to be implemented there, to evaluate the cost of this implementation, and to talk again with the end customer what kind of a services and what kind of a data and what kind of a service level agreements they will need, and then to go to evaluate what will be the cost of a project that will be implemented technology of an old building. In some of the cases, of course, the technology is by itself, it's not something that's, you know, very often, because the technology is something sexy. I know the guys from the IT sector, they're much more pushy than we are. And when they invent something, whatever it is, it's a smart device or a technology or software, they bring the piece that they developed and they go to their customers and say, hey, you see, it's such a nice remote control, it's 3 buttons here, so with one it's go forward, with the other it's back. And they are selling very, very well what they develop. And very often fascinating by the technologies, because, yeah, most of us, we are a gadget-oriented people. I say, yeah, it's good, I would have one of these in my office. But at the end of the day, we have to think, what's the purpose of this? Is it we are buying this or we're implementing this just because we like it or because we need it? So this evaluation is also quite important to make in order to see and to justify the investments and add-on value that these investments are making. Internet of Things is quite an old already term, but still I think that we are not using it in the most advanced way, let's say. Today, all the machines, they are coming with implemented protocols and implemented devices for communication. So let's try and let's start using them in a little bit more efficient way, again, in order to be able to adjust the buildings that we are using to the main and core purpose of usage of these buildings. Big data. We mentioned about the big data and applying all these business intelligence tools and instruments that we can read this data and extract what exactly we need. It's something that also we can do the prediction of behavior of the buildings. I know it's an example from industrial big plants. I will not mention the name of the plant, but I was they were under quite heavy environmental control. It was a chemical factory, and they were producing different kind of chemicals. They were really very under control, so they spent quite a money for having all these sensors and all this system where they control different ingredients of the air. It was really a big amount of money yearly that was spent for that monitoring, and this is a must. This was required by the authorities and by the government. So these guys actually, at the end of the day, they use the data that is collecting there. They know very well the processes of production of different products that they have. And they measure with quite a good accuracy the expected expenditure in the air. So they control this, not just buying new sensors, but they were very close of prediction. And if the prediction was, let's say, more than 95% based on analytic data, then just they switch on the sensor and they verified the data which comes from their calculation models. This thing saved a lot of money to the factory, and this was actually initiated by the facilities manager in this factory, which gives a lot of light and a lot of pluses to the facilities management, because they know how it works and they know how we can do it. Machine learning and augmented reality. Yeah, machines are talking to us. We just have to learn how to listen them and how to convert what they talk to us in a way how we can implement. I mean, in many cases we are talking about starting with the simple things like robots for cleaning. Okay, if you have a big hotel or if you have a big lobbies and big common areas, yeah, you can use robots for cleaning. But still, there are not that much good technologies for cleaning of the stairs in that way. Social collaboration, and something which usually we are using only for communicating and having these social apps and sharing information, sharing pictures, sharing experience. But since many years, some of the FM companies are using the social media not just for sharing, but also for appointing different tasks and appointing a different, different problems, and use the social media and use the social environment in order to address problems and in order also to look for solutions. Even some of the companies which have quite a diverse portfolio of real estate, they are also using the social media to control their subcontractors. Instead of hiring so many people in order to control if you have facilities in Munich, in Berlin, in Amsterdam, in Budapest, and to try to find a way how to monitor and control your subcontractors, you can easily use the social media and just open a task. And you can, like a social sharing, saying, okay, I know that today in Munich, my service provider should cut the grass in front of my shopping mall. So should I send somebody there to check it, or just I can say, okay, I'm giving €5 if somebody provide me 5 pictures from the cutted grass in front of the shopping mall. You have accurate information, you have information from independent source, and the money that you are spending are not that much. So using also the social media is something that can advance our profession, even within working with the subcontractors or looking for the solutions within the companies and the behavior of each employee of each company. Technologies in general is something that really can enable our work and can give us the possibility to adjust our services. But technology by itself, it's not something that can solve our problems. The technology is the tool that we can use in order to be more professional, in order to be more sustainable, and in order to bring more value to our customers in the end of the day. So I was always saying that, I mean, the smartphones that we have in our pockets are with such a power, and we are not using them in the way how we should use. I mean, every one of us has a smartphone, has a smart device with camera, with QR code reader, so we can convert these tools really in a powerful instruments in order to support our work, in order to support our thing. But in general, technology is something nice, something good, and yeah, we have to be careful on which level of complexity of technology we are adapting in our premises. In many cases, yeah, if you're talking about young people, they're not afraid of technology. They just go there, grab it, and do whatever they want. But if you are talking about people that are a little bit aged, so maybe it could be quite difficult for them to do the job that it's required with a smart device or with a technology that we need. No, the technology is something that we need. We just need to find the right balance between the complexity of the technology, the investment of the technology, and the needs that our end user and end customer needs, whatever it is, a company or the user that is sitting in the desk in the office or the patient that is sitting in the hospital. But don't be afraid of using technology. Thank you. Thank you.